evening, everyone. I'm Frank Novak, and this is Point of Reference. Tonight, we give you a brief introduction to each candidate running for office in the city of Haverhill, incumbent as well as newcomer, in an effort for you to get to know them a little better and help you to decide who to vote for on Election Day, November 7th. We're very proud that almost 100% of the candidates took us up on our invitation to help you become a more informed voter. I'm talking right now with Fred Simmons, who's making not his first attempt in a run for city council, but his most current attempt at a run for city council. Welcome to the program, Fred.
Thank you, Frank.
You know, what insight have you gained from your previous runs that will make you change course this time in order to make it more effective and wind up with a win? What do you think?
Well, I think a lot of it is to contribute to my daytime job now. I'm actually working days after 25, I'm on my 25th year, and this is my 25th year, and so days gives me a lot of opportunities for at night. I get to go to more events. I actually meet a lot of people, and it's very, very actually enjoyable. At nights, I would have to take a lot of time off, and it was hard to make every event. I am doing a lot more events, meeting a lot more people, and I think people are actually getting my message.
You know, interestingly, many times people think that there's an unofficial rule in running for office, and that is you run the first time and you may not get in, but that's to give you some overall name recognition. You run the second time to win. You know, do you think that sort of theory may apply to your case?
Yeah, I think it does. But again, it's also, I think it's getting out there, door knocking, meeting the people. That's still relevant. And you have to do these things in order to get elected. I took a course at Mass Alliance, and Mass Alliance's number one thing is you got to get out there, door knock. Holding signs is fun and stuff. It's name recognition, putting signs out on the lawns. But again, signs don't vote. The people actually that put your signs up there are actually, or hopefully, they'll support you because you have a sign there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you know, can you tell us, what do you think are some of the compelling issues that are confronting the city of Haverhill that you would like to get involved with, that you would like to leave a mark on or give some direction toward?
Well, one of my number one things is I went to a council meeting not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before because of the election. Yep. And it was budget performance, and it's actually, it's going to be more transparent. It was a study from Brandeis University, and these people brought an excellent idea. It's actually to talk to department heads and their needs for the city of Haverhill, and obviously the people of the city of Haverhill, because they need services. And this is the best way that I think that the department heads, or maybe even talking to the workers, saying what is your number one goals and what do we need to put this into the budget so we can make this city even better than what it is. And I think that's one of the best things, and hopefully the mayor implements it. He seemed very interested. He actually pushed for it. So I really enjoyed actually being at that council meeting.
So it's a type of a survey of department heads, people that are closer to the situation than people that are at a distance of being able to write out the budget. You know, I think that's very interesting, especially if you're apt to be able to get to the people that are doing the actual work rather than even the supervisors, because that's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak.
Correct.
And these are the guys doing the job. You know, when we take a look at that, what are there any votes that you see that the Haverhill City Council has taken, let's say in the past year or so, that you think may have been a misstep and you would have voted differently? And if you would have, why?
Well, let's see. Some of the things I know they're doing, it's a very tough job, and sometimes you're not always going to agree with your candidates.
Sure.
And I'm not going to ever be a rubber stamp. I'm not just going to go with whatever the main people want. I'm actually going to do my homework, and I'm going to do what's best for the residents and the people of Haverhill. There's not one particular item I can think of right off the top of my head, but I believe that let's see, some of the decisions I know are out of our hands, especially the bridge. Mm-hmm. We need to make the state get more involved, especially this bridge here. We have a beautiful building here, and it seems like we can't all get on board that we need the state to do this, but how do we make the state do this? And these are some of the things that I need to actually talk to the senators when I go to the State House and representatives and actually see how come we can. I know it's all about money, but we really need some of these items to be pushed forward. And government works so slowly. And I want to expedient some things, especially public safety. Some of those areas, I drive a motorcycle, and when I go over that bridge, it's tricky. You have to know every little potholes, because I work at Bradford Elementary and I live in Haverhill, so I'm coming over to the bridge, and it's very tricky. And when they had that on the agenda item, they had to say, well, we had studies done, we have to do this. It just seems so slow, Frank. It just seems so slow.
And you'd like to expedite those things?
Yes.
Can you tell me, if you're going around door to door and talking with people and being able to get yourself known, letting them know that Fred Simmons is running for city council, that's okay. What have you been surprised at all with some of the things that your prospective constituents have told you that you've learned from them as far as representation and what they need? What would some of those things be?
A lot of people say that, now, because they said it's election year, all the roads are being done and stuff like that. Roads are always like a top priority, again, like the bridge. Mm-hmm. And we just got $52.5 million from the State House, which Governor Baker actually gave us, which is very shocking that they gave that kind of money. And this is the things that we need in our towns and cities. We need money, otherwise we're going to have to raise taxes. And thank God we have a good governor that actually understands this thing.
If we're taking a look at that, do you think one of the issues happens to deal with taxes, and people think they try to have some foresight to see, well, they're looking at the hail debt and the $2.5 million that we've been getting from the state, but that's never a guarantee that we are going to get something of that type in the future, especially since our state senator that's been there for 27 years, Brian Dempsey, is no longer a part of the team, so to speak. He'd want to have something done, but he's out of that control right
Correct.
now. That being the case, what do you think is the #1 priority for the city of Haverhill overall?
Well, again, we definitely have to work with the new representative, and obviously he'll be a rookie working his way up. I have to give thanks right now to Brian Dempsey. He's one of the best representatives we've ever had in this town, and I honestly feel that it's going to take a long time to get to that point again. But we have Senator Ives, and we have Linda Dean Campo and Diane DeZoglio that represent this city, and Nikki Songas. We need to make sure that they're all involved, not to just their areas, but not to forget about Haverhill, and the ones that are representing Haverhill are up there. Linda Dean Campbell's still on the Ways and Means. She'll actually be hopefully the next person like Brian Dempsey, and we can actually keep asking her. But we got to keep these people involved. We got to make sure they get into office and help the city of Haverhill.
It seems, Fred, as though you're the sort of guy that wants to keep the momentum going. Get up and go and keep moving.
Yes, Frank.
Very good. Fred Simmons, thanks very much for being here. We wish you the best of luck in the election.
Thank you.
We'll be back. I hope that this program has been a point of reference for you. And until next time, my name is Frank Novak, and thanks very much for watching. And remember to vote on November 7th.